Welcome to this special documentary where we dig up the deep roots of one of history's most loved and powerful plants, rosemary. For centuries, rosemary has been present in temples, kitchens, rituals, medicine cabinets, and gardens. On this journey, we'll not only explore its ancient history, from ancient Egypt to its expansion throughout Europe thanks to the Roman Empire, but also its amazing healing benefits for both body and mind. This isn't just a video. It's a detailed journey that will show you why rosemary has been considered a treasure of nature for generations. We're going to dive into its traditional medicinal uses, the secrets held within its essential oils, and how it can help you improve digestion, relieve muscle pain, strengthen your memory, and reduce stress. We'll also dedicate a special section to homemade rosemary recipes. Those recipes that have been passed down from grandmothers to grandchildren and that today, more than ever, are still useful in modern life. We'll teach you how to prepare soothing teas, massage oils, therapeutic baths, hair tonics, and rinses that care for your skin and hair. All these remedies can be made with simple ingredients from home, without complications, and with great benefits. We'll also talk about its uses in cooking and important precautions you should keep in mind. Get ready to see rosemary in a whole new light. Because behind that humble green sprig, there are centuries of wisdom, health, and tradition waiting to be rediscovered. The ancient history of rosemary. Rosemary is native to the Mediterranean region and has been with mankind since ancient times. Its very name evokes poetry. It comes from the Latin ros marinus, which means dew of the sea, referring to the fact that it grows near the coast and to the layer of aromatic oils that coats its leaves, shining like dewdrops. It's no coincidence that so many legends and traditions revolve around this plant. From Egypt to Rome, rosemary appears in historical records as a sacred and medicinal plant. In ancient Egypt, sprigs of rosemary were placed in the tombs of pharaohs as an offering to help the soul on its journey to the afterlife. In fact, rosemary remains have been found in Egyptian tombs over 4,000 years old, indicating its ceremonial and therapeutic use since at least 2000 BC. In ancient Greece, rosemary was dedicated to Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. Greek students would weave crowns of fresh rosemary and wear them on their heads, believing that its scent improved memory and focus. This belief in rosemary's mental benefits was so strong that it survived for centuries. In ancient Rome, the herb continued to play a major role. The Romans used it in cooking, as medicine, and also in spiritual rituals. It was customary to burn rosemary as incense in religious ceremonies at weddings as a symbol of love and fidelity, and at funerals, representing eternal remembrance. Also, the Romans took rosemary to all corners of Europe during their conquests, spreading its use throughout the continent. Moving forward a few centuries, we find rosemary shining in the Middle Ages. In those turbulent times, this aromatic plant was an essential part of traditional apothecaries. During the Great Plague that ravaged Europe in the 14th century, rosemary was burned in the streets and hospitals to purify the air thanks to its antiseptic properties. They even made the famous Thieves vinegar, a concoction with rosemary and other herbs that supposedly protected against the plague. The monks in the monasteries grew rosemary in their medicinal gardens, and Emperor Charlemagne ordered it to be included in the monastery gardens by decree, recognizing its value. With the expansion of the European empires, rosemary reached other continents starting in the 15th century, adapting to new soils and climates. Today, it grows all over the world, but it's still a symbol of the Mediterranean region. where entire villages smell of rosemary under the summer sun. Healing benefits for the body. Why has rosemary been so valued in natural medicine? It turns out that this plant houses a powerful plant pharmacy in its leaves and flowers. Grandmothers already knew this when they gave us a cup of rosemary tea for a tummy ache, and modern science confirms it. Rosemary is rich in bioactive compounds, like essential oils, rosmarinic acid, and flavonoids, which give it many healing properties for the body. For example, it has a noticeable digestive effect. It stimulates gastrointestinal secretions, helps with digestion, and reduces bloating. In other words, it's carminative, which means it helps to get rid of trapped gas and relieves stomach cramps and discomfort. It's no coincidence that rosemary tea is traditionally drunk after large meals. Besides being good for your stomach, rosemary has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. It fights inflammation and protects our cells from damage caused by free radicals. That's why it has been used to relieve joint and muscle pain. Applied externally, it acts as a rubefacient. That is, it stimulates blood circulation in the area where it is rubbed, for example in the form of rosemary oil or alcohol, and thereby relieves muscle and joint pain. Do you have tired legs or a pulled muscle? A massage with warm rosemary could be the ideal home remedy. Its antiseptic and antibacterial properties are also noteworthy. Rosemary helps to disinfect and heal small wounds on the skin, preventing infections. In fact, in traditional medicine, rosemary tea was used to wash wounds and sores because of its healing and antifungal effects. It gently relieves pain. From a mild headache to menstrual cramps, rosemary has been part of pain-relieving ointments and teas. For example, its use has been described to ease arthritis, soothe coughs, thanks to its balsamic effect, and even as a general tonic to feel more energized. In short, this humble plant can help the digestive system, the circulatory system, and the musculoskeletal system. As experts point out, its leaves and flowers improve circulation and relieve pain and digestive problems, among other medicinal properties. It's no wonder rosemary is considered a treasure of herbal medicine. Few natural ingredients bring together carminative, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antimicrobial qualities all at once. But rosemary's power doesn't stop with the body. It also extends its benefits to the mind and emotions. Since ancient times, rosemary has been known as the herb of memory. Greek students used it to improve their memory, and in Elizabethan England, even Shakespeare wrote, "There's rosemary that's for remembrance," alluding to its connection with memory. Recent studies have shown that simply smelling the aroma of rosemary can improve memory and concentration. A study published in the International Journal of Neuroscience revealed that those who inhaled rosemary essential oil performed better on memory tasks than those who didn't. Can you imagine? Something as simple as the smell of rosemary could give you a mental boost when you need it. This happens because the tiny parts of rosemary, when you breathe them in, can get into your blood and travel to your brain. There, they can help your brain work better, especially with remembering things. Rosemary also helps reduce stress. Its aroma has a relaxing effect. It's been observed that breathing in rosemary essence decreases levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, in the body. In fact, specialists in neuroscience and nutrition point out that rosemary not only improves memory, but also relieves accumulated daily stress, contributing to a more balanced mental state. Not only that, rosemary's compounds, like carnosic acid, seem to have a neuroprotective effect on the brain. Lab research suggests that they could help prevent age-related cognitive decline, protecting neurons from oxidative damage. Its potential in cases of dementia and Alzheimer's is even being studied. Even though more evidence is still needed, it's promising to think that what our ancient cultures sensed, rosemary for the heart and head, now has support from scientific research. Rosemary clears the mind, lifts the spirits, and strengthens memory. It's like a ray of Mediterranean sunshine clearing away brain fog. So the next time you need to relax, try smelling a sprig of fresh rosemary or taking an aromatic bath. Your mind will thank you. Rosemary isn't just a medicinal plant, it's also a treasure in the kitchen. This aromatic herb has been a key part of Mediterranean cooking for centuries. Its leaves, whether fresh or dried, have a scent somewhere between pine and eucalyptus that gives a unique flavor to meats, stews, breads, and roasted potatoes. It's incredibly versatile. It enhances lamb, pork, poultry, oily fish, and even grilled vegetables. Unlike other delicate herbs, rosemary can handle long cooking times without losing its fragrance, which makes it perfect for stews and roasts. But its magic doesn't stop at flavor. Rosemary also helps to preserve food. Since ancient times, it has been used as a natural preservative thanks to its antioxidant properties. Today, its extract is even used in the food industry. At home, you can put it in jars of oil or vinegar to make them last longer and give them a special touch. In some cultures, rosemary is also used in sweet dishes. Rosemary honey, for example, is highly valued for its delicate flavor. There are even desserts and drinks infused with this plant to add a subtle aroma. In short, rosemary is much more than a seasoning. It's tradition, health, and flavor all in one little sprig. Home remedies and ways to use rosemary. Rosemary shines in the kitchen, yes, but also in home medicine. Let's see how we can prepare simple remedies with rosemary at home. To take advantage of its healing qualities, Rosemary Infusion, or tea. It's the most traditional way to use it internally. Just put some dried or fresh rosemary leaves in a cup of boiling water. Cover it and let it steep for about 10 minutes, then strain it. This aromatic tea can be drunk 2 or 3 times a day, preferably after meals. It helps with digestion, relieves heartburn, gas, and can also help improve blood circulation. A warm rosemary tea in the afternoon is not only comforting, but it also provides antioxidants and is slightly stimulating, clearing a mind clouded by fatigue. Rosemary oil or rosemary alcohol for massages. For external use, rosemary is usually applied as diluted essential oil or rosemary alcohol. Pure rosemary essential oil is very concentrated. You get a few drops by distilling the plant, and those drops are mixed with a carrier oil. For example, olive oil or almond oil before massaging the skin. Traditionally, homemade rosemary oil is prepared by filling a jar with fresh rosemary sprigs and covering them with olive oil, letting it soak for a few weeks in a sunny place. The result is an oil infused with the aroma and properties of rosemary. It's perfect for rubbing on sore areas or moisturizing your skin. For example, by mixing 5 milliliters of rosemary essential oil in 95 milliliters of alcohol, we get a classic liniment that, when rubbed on, activates circulation and quickly relieves muscle pain, rheumatic pain, or bruises. Many older folks keep a bottle of rosemary alcohol to massage their tired legs at the end of the day. Aromatic rosemary baths. How about a relaxing and therapeutic bath? You can prepare a rosemary bath by boiling about 50 grams of rosemary leaves in 1 liter of water, letting it steep for half an hour and straining it. This concentrated infusion is added to the bathwater. The steam and water infused with rosemary are invigorating. They act as an anti-inflammatory for sore joints. They relieve nasal congestion if you have a cold and relax the mind. It's like diving into an herbal spa in your own home. If you don't have a bathtub, you can also make a rosemary foot bath with that rosemary tea to rest your feet after a long walk. For your hair and skin, rosemary water is a natural beauty secret for your hair. You can make a homemade lotion by boiling rosemary in water, letting it cool, and then using that liquid as a rinse after shampooing. It's believed to stimulate hair follicles, making your hair stronger and shinier. In fact, there are commercial hair tonics that have rosemary as their main ingredient. For your skin, rosemary compresses can help clean oily or acne-prone skin because of their gentle antibacterial action, and they can soothe minor irritations. These are just some of the ways to use rosemary at home. The wonderful thing is that we can practically use all parts of the plant. Leaves and flowers in teas, its oil in massages, the whole branches in baths, or even to freshen closets. Who hasn't hung a bundle of aromatic herbs to keep bugs away? Rosemary helps repel mosquitoes and moths from clothes naturally. Even though rosemary is a wonderful plant, there are a few precautions to keep in mind when using it, especially in high doses or concentrated forms. High blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, be careful with rosemary in medicinal doses. Because it stimulates circulation, it can slightly raise blood pressure. In small amounts for cooking, it's no problem. But in concentrated forms like essential oils or supplements, it's not advisable for people with high blood pressure without a doctor's supervision. Pregnancy and breastfeeding. Pregnant or breastfeeding women should avoid using rosemary essential oil internally and shouldn't overdo it with very concentrated teas. Rosemary as a spice in food is safe, but strong rosemary preparations might be too stimulating. Essential oil, especially, is not recommended during pregnancy because in high doses it could cause uterine contractions. It's better to be safe and save rosemary remedies for after this stage. Serious gastrointestinal problems. Although rosemary helps with digestion, in cases of active peptic ulcer, severe inflammatory bowel disease, or bile duct obstruction, it's best to avoid it or consult a doctor. This is because it stimulates the production of bile and gastric juices, which is normally beneficial, but could be harmful if there are certain medical conditions. For example, if you have gallbladder pain from gallstones, rosemary could make the pain worse by moving the bile. Allergies and sensitive skin. For people with very sensitive skin or allergies, contact with rosemary, especially with its essential oil, can cause irritation or dermatitis. If you are going to use rosemary oil for the first time, do a small skin test with diluted oil to see if it causes a reaction. And remember to always dilute the essential oil. Never apply it directly without diluting it, because it's very concentrated. Epilepsy or other neurological disorders. Some sources advise that those with epilepsy avoid using rosemary essential oil in intense aromatherapy, since it contains thujone and camphor, compounds that could, theoretically, trigger seizures in high doses. Although this risk is rare, it's a precaution to keep in mind. Overall, we're talking about a safe plant that most people handle just fine when used the right way. Millions of people eat it every day as a spice with no problems. Just be careful with concentrated extracts and pay attention to your body's signals. If used with respect, rosemary will be a great ally. But like any natural remedy, the key is moderation and knowledge. We've reached the end of this aromatic and informative journey. We've seen how a simple Mediterranean shrub, rosemary, has stood the test of time as a seasoning, medicine, and cultural symbol. From the tombs of the pharaohs to modern laboratories, rosemary has proven to be a gift from nature with extraordinary potential to heal the body and balance the mind. Its volatile oils awaken our senses and improve our memory. Its compounds relieve aches and fight infections, and its presence in our kitchens reminds us that food can also be our medicine. In today's fast-paced world, rediscovering these ancient remedies connects us with the wisdom of our ancestors and with the power of nature. Rosemary teaches us that sometimes the secrets to our well-being have always been within reach, growing in a garden or on the slopes of a hill. Maybe after watching this documentary, you'll see that rosemary plant on your balcony in a whole new light. Or maybe you'll be inspired to plant one if you don't have one already. Rosemary's ancient secret isn't so secret anymore. It's in every leaf and every flower, waiting to be shared. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't miss the next one that's popping up on your screen right now.